Ohio State recruiting, how the Dream 14 fared in HS football, 10/20. Damon Webb once again proved why he's one of the top players in the country while Malik Hooker willed his team to victory with a huge night. Check out how the rest of the Dream 14 fared in action over the weekend. Stephen Collier was back in action this weekend following a bye, and the result wasn't what he and Lee County had been accustomed to all season. Facing stiff competition on the road, the Trojans were unable to find their normal rhythm and fell 31-14 to Thomas County Central. Collier battled all night, but as we all know, it's tough to play most of the game from behind, especially on the road. There's no doubt that Stephen will rally his team moving forward because that's the kind of player he is. Lee County will look to right the ship next week and start a new winning streak as the playoffs draw closer. Street. Vincent St. Mary stayed undefeated on Friday night, hammering Barberton 41-0. Paris Campbell received a minimum amount of touches, and judging by the score, there's no reason he needed to have a huge workload. Campbell rushed 9 times for 57 yards and 1 touchdown. Flip it over and Dante Booker led the Fighting Irish in tackles with 9, 2 of them being sacks. The Akron duo continue to impress each week with their stellar individual performances and the dominating team wins they are able to help record. 2 future Buckeyes squared off against each other over the weekend, Terry McLaurin and Sam Hubbard, with Indianapolis Cathedral facing Moeller High School. Moeller imposed their will, eventually winning 35-14. Terry McLaurin did have a bright spot for his squad, though, taking a kick 96 yards to the house. Moeller, now at 8-0, faces Street Edward next week in a battle of 2 top 5 teams in the state, while Cathedral begins their quest for a title next Friday night as they start their section playoffs. Curtis Samuel's Erasmus Hall Dutchman fell to Lincoln, which ended their undefeated season as well. Big-time Buckeye target Thomas Hawley mans the defensive line for Lincoln and they beat Erasmus to a tune of 38-21. Curtis Samuel certainly didn't shy away from the big-time lights though. He rushed for 135 yards and a touchdown. Samuel is absolutely electric with the ball in his hands and he continues to showcase his skill set no matter who the opponent is. Samuel did get dinged up in the game appearing to favor an ankle but still made his official visit to Ohio State yesterday along with potential future Buckeye teammate Thomas Hawley. Malik Hooker was able to get things going in a big way at this receiver this week, catching 5 balls for 118 yards and 2 touchdowns. On top of that, Hooker's huge night propelled Newcastle to a 43-40 shootout victory over Moon Area. Hooker's team closes out the regular season next week before heading into the playoff arena, where more huge games like this will be a must for the Hurricanes to make a deep playoff run. Now to the guy who hasn't received a ton of action this year, Damon Webb. It's not like he's not involved with the game plan, opponents are simply afraid to go after him. That's been the case all year long. East English Village Prep didn't get the memo as they threw at Webb 3 times on Friday and Damon responded by jumping one for an interception and breaking up the other 2. There's no question that Damon Webb will challenge for playing time next season. Cass Tech finished the regular season unbeaten with the win,